I want to talk about the lean epidemic.
Uh-huh.
Because I think people are kind of missing it. But Fredo Santana, while we were out passed, but I think it was between shows anyway. Basically, every organ in his body failed. I do remember, I want to say, I believe it was him that posted maybe like a year and a half ago about how he was in the hospital and was like, yo.
Nah, that's a couple months ago. That wasn't even like,
oh, damn.
That wasn't even that long ago. I want to say October-ish, if I'm not mistaken. Like, because I think XXX came to visit him and shit.
Oh, wow.
While he was hemmed up, yeah.
Yeah, so dude was like, yo, man, this lean really got me jacked up. I can't even do nothing. I'm in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Pray for me. I was like, man, that's terrible. It's sad that another young person has died. Now, I even had to do my Googles on Fredo a little bit because I always kind of, led Louis being like the leader of the drill movement, or like, but I guess if you're the first one that popped, you kind of get you that. But I guess like Fredo, Keith, and
Reese
Louis,
and Dirk.
Reese, right?
Yeah,
that to me they are the faces of drill. I didn't realize Fredo's importance.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, especially for a Chicago artist to die. I guess I hate to say it like this, the positive is at least it wasn't violence, because unfortunately we were the young guys were getting murdered.
Yeah,
out
left
here.
and right. That's
you
true.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so at least they've stopped the killing, but now they're killing themselves.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. Condolences to his whole team, his real friends, and his family.
Yeah.
It's sad, and although I'll say it like this, even though that happened, it's not going to change. I mean, I know I know DJ Mustard poured out the activists in the in the sink, but like, man, listen, let's keep it a buck on this lean epidemic here.
Okay.
Niggas has been dying for 20 years on lean. Like, think about when DJ Screw died.
Ooh, that's a fact. Yeah,
I was a teenager.
Yeah, we like 18 years removed from DJ Screw. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
Then we got Pimp, and then TMZ thought Wayne died because of the seizures and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave out bad news, but look at the trend in all of these people and tell me that maybe he just didn't die and was brought back to life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then of course, like, like the young guy Lil Peep, even though he had like all kinds of stuff in the system.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's a few other people, but like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, or maybe, sorry, and not wishing this on anybody ever, maybe just all the wrong people are dying. Maybe it is going to take a very high profile person to die, because think about it like this, right? Gun violence, like we're the gun violence, murder, real beef era. So we watched. Well, we didn't watch it, but we lived through, Big L, Jam Master Jay, Pac, Big, Freaky Ty.
Yeah.
Like, all these niggas were murdered.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? All these men. Sorry, I didn't mean to say niggas like that. but
trust me,
like,
we get it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But like, all of them were murdered. And then like, even when they got to John 50, we were like, yo, like, somebody even got stabbed and somebody got shot in that. And it was just like, man, like, yo, we need to chill out.
Like be cool, fellas.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this is rap. And see, and this is, and here we go. I guess you can pick it back into the dealer user thing, but I think it's just more about, maybe the messages, like, obviously it got really violent for us, but now you have just like this self-medicating music, and it's like, unfortunately, like, the guys that maybe hype it up the most aren't the ones that are suffering. Like, for instance, if Wayne, if 2 Chainz, if one of the Migos, or I think even, now I don't want to say Ross, because Ross is losing weight and all that too.
But he went through his seizure stuff too.
Right, exactly, and he blamed it on his sleep. But you know what? Not getting sleep and being fat, that could have been it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I won't throw him in that category. But if all of those guys were to get the kidney failure, get liver damage, be hospitalized or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, just maybe then, they'll be like, man, you know what? This lean shit is super trash. We got to get out. We got to get this out of here.
You know what, though? I would hate for that to be the case, of course. But from what I'm seeing, especially with the, I guess you could say underground, lower tier rappers, I'm seeing them like shy away more from like the whole like carrying around the lean, the activist bottles, even though I know like they discontinued that. But I'm starting to see that a little bit more. And I think this is where like hip hop is evolving, it's constantly growing, still very young. Whereas like say like rock and roll, they went through their heroin epidemic. You know what I'm saying? Their stars was getting up out of here behind the needle. This is ours. I'm guessing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you because you know, like you would think like crack, coke, any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like even like you know when Chris Kelly, that's the one that passed from Criss Cross. Like he died from speedballing, and that's like that's coke and heroin, I believe. So like you know, it's kind of a generational thing, and I think what's most important with all this lean thing is that you know it's so many people for kids to follow now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about it, like 90s, even early 2000s, we only had a chance to like really like dig like 20 people. Like 20, 30 guys. You know what I'm saying? Snoop smoked weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like like Be Real, Redman, Method Man, like that was it. Like, you know, niggas got high off marijuana and fought.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, niggas got high and maybe bust their gun at a couple of niggas. Not that that's cool. That's not cool at all. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? But now we're in a space where, like, you know, thousands of rappers exist. You know what I'm saying? Like if we, like, there's no way you could take, like, a picture like of the Atlanta music scene now.
Right, yeah.
Or the New York music scene.
Without leaving somebody out. Yeah.
Like you're not gonna find it's literally the Where's Waldo shit now. Like it's so many people, and then when you got so many of those guys, you know, on the perks, the Zans, the lean, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and then they smoking weed. Yeah. And then they wanted, you know, they drinking Douce, and then they fucking, you know what I mean?
You know what? I think this is the thing. Like hip hop never had its party drug era. You know what I'm saying? Right. Where, you know, we, as young as hip hop is, when it comes into fruition, like being a crackhead is whack. You know what I'm saying? Right. Being a fiend is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like we play fiends to the left. Right. Like above the rim and stuff like that. You see how you treat a crackhead. Like, nah, you don't want to be that dude. Right. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing about drugs. It's disguised as a party. That's how they, like, that's how anybody early enough to smoke crack when, like, it was just like, oh, yeah, we freebasing cocaine. Right. It was like, you got the chicks around, we got the cocaine, we're going to have a good time. We missed that. But with this, it's like, oh, yeah, man, break out the lane. We got the cup. Like, we pulling up, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? You got the Xannies. Right. And then you got the chicks that come along with that. This is our version of that. Like, where it's disguised as fun, but we don't know how dangerous it is on the low. And even, like, the people that died previous to that, it was like, oh, man, you could always say, oh, man, well, there was other shit in there, too. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody slipped them some bad, you dig. Right. Whereas now, like, you got a cup with you all the time. Right. Like, you can see how damaging that could be to your body. Like, even if you look at, like, Wayne and 2 Chainz. Wayne, even though Lean was around before Wayne, he was the purveyor of the double cup. He made that shit look cool. Yep. Even when people wasn't drinking Lean, it was people walking around with juice. Right, in the double cup. In 2 styrofoam cups. You know what I'm saying? Just fronting and perpetrating.
Like, get out here with your motherfucking Kool-Aid, you bitch ass nigga. No. I'm sorry I had to do that. Because I did that with him. I'm like, man, get out here, man. You got motherfucking real Sprite, nigga. You got Sprite and orange juice, nigga. Shut up.
Don't feel bad. I did the shit too. That's why I had to laugh. But now you're starting to see, like, you don't see 2 Chainz with a cup no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? True. You don't really see Wayne with a cup no more. True. It's and that's, I guess, I don't want to say the good thing about these people getting sick and passing away, but their death to their peers is like a lightning rod. Like, yo, fam, we got to cut this shit out, man. This shit, if it can take Fredo out at 27, right? You know what I'm saying? Me and him the same age, or I'm younger. Like, it ain't cool to be sipping that shit all day. Like, we understand you ain't got no job and being in the studio is what you do, but you can't perform off that forever. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And it's going to take the older homies or the people that they look up to, like a Wayne, like a Ross, like a 2 Chainz, to be like, yo, man, fuck that cup, G. Like, we got to find something else. Like, smoke all the tree you want. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We'll have to deal with that shit later.
Right. But, no, absolutely. I definitely agree. And I forgot the 2 names. Wow. I don't even know how I forgot them in this conversation, but Future and Travis Scott.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Travis Scott was actually somebody I worried about. Like, literally like 2 or 3 years ago. Because, I mean, again, even though and Butterfly Effect dropped on my birthday, so it's like my favorite song of 2017, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly do like his music, but just the sound of his music, it sounds like the best time ever. Travis Scott makes music that sounds like I'm having the time of my fucking life. Right?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But the problem is, I'm a lyric listener too. And all his shit is, yo, I'm about to get this girl under the influence. I'm about to fuck her. I'm about to get high again. And then
and repeat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like all of his music is about having sex under the influence or getting ready to get under the influence. Like, all of it is. And there's so many cold words that he's using. And it's like, man, but you know what? I mean, obviously I'm 36 now, but if I was 16, who's to say I wouldn't be like, yeah, nigga, like, we about to have this house party. I just went into my mom's cabinet and got these motherfucking perks, nigga. Like, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew kids that sold pills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the kind of people I associate myself with. I was never at a party that I seen or just hung around people that like just pop pills. Like, that's never been a thing. Even when Eminem was on this shit heavy. That just wouldn't think. But you know what? I think also that was like, man, that's that white boy shit.
I was just about to say, you could pass it off as white boy shit.
Yeah,
like, oh, no, man, we don't fuck with that
like,
over
nigga,
there.
Hit this motherfucking chronic, nigga. Fuck,
fuck that bullshit.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. So, I mean, unfortunately, it's going to take like a Future or Travis Scott to either be like, no, this is trash, and I ain't even rapping about it no more.
Right.
Or one of them got to be like, yo, I'm experiencing some difficulties and this is why. Because I think what also doesn't get highlighted on this is, you know, anything FDA approved, you eventually become immune to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, if you guys look at it like this, let's take lean out of it. Let's say it's NyQuil. Let's say the first time you take NyQuil, you take about 60 milliliters. You pass out. And he was like, oh, man, whew. So you get up, take some more. You might pass out again. But if you do that 2 times a day every day, by like Thursday, Friday, you're going to be up.
Like, it ain't going to do shit to you.
It's like, oh, man, you know, I feel a little loose, but, you know, I'm good. And it's like, now you've become immune to it. So now what you got to do, you got to drink half the bottle. Then you got to drink the whole bottle. Then you got to drink two bottles. And then all of a sudden now all this FDA-approved shit that was meant to cure your stuffy head, aching, coughing, like fever shit is now just like going to your organs. And because it's like, what are we feeding off of? We're not fighting a disease. We're not fighting a virus. We're just here. We're just existing. We're just roaming in your body. We're just festering in.
And that's the scary thing about drug addiction, the way it just slides off into like, yo, I need this shit to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, and but this is a personal thing with myself. That's the thing that's always scared me about any outside substance. And I've smoked weed and all that to the point where it becomes like, yo, man, I need this shit to function. That's when it's like, you know what, man, I don't think I want to fuck around with this no more.
Right.
Even when it come to weed, and I know we treat weed like it's super harmless and all that, but if you need that shit to clear your mind or you had a bad day, you automatically got to smoke. Like I tell all my homies, it's like, yo, the minute you need this to celebrate or to get over some shit, like you might want to slow down because you got to experience, like you got to experience life in the raw, like how it come to you. Like you have a bad day. Sometimes you just got to sit in that shit. You can't drink that shit away. You can't smoke it away. Because if you always got to, like, because bad days is going to happen.
Absolutely.
Or, like, good days is going to happen. Like, if you need liquor to get some ass, look, like, and if you get enough ass after a while, like, fam, you can't have one without the other. Or weed, same thing, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I I'm only on the fence with weed for this reason, because I've been actually studying, just doing my own self-education on just medical marijuana in general. I came across a dope site called Leafly.com a few months back.
Very dope.
You know what I'm saying? And see, and like, you know, and I forget who said it. It might have been David Banner, like, or maybe it's Joe Budden. I don't remember. It's like, know your dealer. You know, know.
Yeah.
And see, and that's my thing. I think there are everything that I've learned about weed from just, you know, sativas and indicas, and, you know, it's how it can treat like a certain ailment or whatever. I believe weed is a great thing. However, when you get in the sack from Ronnie crib, we don't know what that really is. Like, I mean, and that's not to scare you guys out there, but that's just how I think. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even eat other people's bag of chips. Like, I don't even want to reach in there, like, pour it out.
Yeah, I feel you.
And give me some when you just open it, or maybe I just don't want any. I don't know, like, so, so, you know, so even with that, I'm just like, man, do I just trust this nigga that's just bagging up at the crib? Like, how do I know what he put on it, in it? Like,
that's a fact.
Is he trying to raise the potency to make me keep coming back to him? Like what is it? I mean, hell, you know, the hip hop story about that is DMX. The first time DMX ever smoked weed, it was laced with crack,
which is crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he never shook it. As of right now, I don't know what he's doing like in the last 12 months, but as of like 2015, he didn't shake that shit. Like, he likes to smoke crack, cocaine, and fucking weed at the same time. I look at it like, now granted, I do agree with you. You don't need anything every day. The only thing you need every day is water and oxygen. And maybe cocoa butter if you're black. Even in the sun, right? You know what I'm saying? and even during the summer and spring, you're like, you can lay off of it. Just a little lotion might do it. Just hit your arms and your knees. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You dig? But I'm not an advocate of you definitely need something every day. If you feel like you need something every day, you need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Whether it's and I know everybody doesn't have professional help. That's why I'm just an advocate of just having just non-judgmental people around that you can just talk to, because and sometimes that's not a mom, that's not a brother, that's not a cousin. It might just be like a chick, you know, it might be one of your homies from school. Like, you never know. Like, everybody I think needs, I would say 2 or 3 people that are like, hey, I can talk to this person. I'm not going to be judged here. I'm just going to lay this out, and this is my thoughts, these are my feelings, because I think that in itself is a greater coping mechanism than anything that you could, you know, burn or ingest or inject or whatever people are doing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the sad part, because all of this is like a vicious cycle. Like, but we don't get taught that, especially as black men. Like, you know, sharing your feelings. Like, oh, man, you soft as hell, man. When you did talking all that feeling shit.
Exactly.
And that's the part that can create a area for addiction. You know what I'm saying? Or environment. That's what I was looking for. Environment for addiction. Because you're trying to cope with these terrible things. And I think Fredo even mentioned that. Excuse me. He was like, I take all this shit because, like, my environment where I come from was terrible. And that's so sad that, like, we live in a place where, like, yo, fam, like, I got to free my mind, man. My homies haunt me and shit like that. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, I do understand that everybody's going through something, but leave some of these vices alone, or pick a new vice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's important to. Everybody needs an outlet, no matter what it is. I know for me, I don't know about you, but this is my outlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go through a lot of shit. And I have for like about a year now. Like, 2017 wasn't the greatest year, but me being able to you just get content out and create, and just do shit like this is like, man, you know, I feel better. Like, it made me feel good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hardly ever drink. Even though Jack Daniels is my favorite, if I'm gonna have a drink, sponsors, you know, y'all can come on through. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. Even with that, and like, and you know, and I was a person that I tried I didn't try drinking until I was like 22. Actually,
really?
Yeah, okay. I had senior project on my 21st birthday, so I was like, I ain't fucking getting drunk. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen to me. I need to pass. Fuck school. Like, I hated school, first of all. So I wasn't about to fail senior project and have to go back another semester just for that. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. And then, and even periodically, I have drank and honestly, the time that I drank frequently was when I realized I was depressed, and I didn't realize I was depressed until 2 years later. I was like, damn. I was drinking that much because I was fucking depressed, and that's why I hate vodka, all kinds now.
Man,
so you know what I'm saying?
It's really interesting how those things just create these environments where you end up doing shit on the low, just like, oh man, I'll just have a sip.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have another sip. And like you said before, you know, you done peeled off a bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's crazy because I remember even Eminem talking about this when he at first came back with recovery and relapse and all that, that he couldn't sleep. Had done all those drugs. His homie dies. He's famous now and all this other stuff. And then it was he take an Ambien to go to sleep. But then he need another Ambien and another one and another. And before you know it, the shit that's FDA approved, got the stamp on it from the government. Yeah, you can take this.
Right.
You take it too many, man. Man, just take care of yourself, man.
Absolutely.
Health is wealth, and I need my bag. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So yeah, as we button up the topic, yes, please take care of yourself. As Jones said, put yourself around great people. Put yourself around different people.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And definitely get yourself 2 to 3 non-judgmental friends that you can talk to at any moment, just to tell them things. So just say somebody can just register it and maybe give you some food in return.
Yep.
All right.